Hello viewers, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. That's good. That's good. Today we are going to look at indices. Okay? Indices. And we are going to look at laws of indices. In every company, we have rules and regulations to govern the company. Likewise, indices. We have laws. And we must obey the rules, the laws. So, let's see the first law of indices. Now, the first law says that A exponent n. A exponent n. Now, the first law says that whenever the bases are the same and they are multiplying, add the powers. The first law says that whenever the bases are the same and they are multiplying, add the powers. So we are going to have A exponent m plus n. That's what the first law says. We are adding the powers because they are multiplying. Good. Now let's take an example. Example A. We have 2 exponent 3 times 2 exponent 2. Now since the bases are the same and they are multiplying, I have to add the powers. So I'm going to have 2 exponent 3 plus 2, which will give me 2 exponent 5. Now the answer should be in index form. Okay? So this is the answer. It is in index form. So this is the final answer for the first example. We added 2 plus 3. That will give us 5. That's all. It is not difficult. It's not difficult. It's a very simple law. So let's try example B. Example B says 2 exponent 3 times 2 times 2 exponent 4. What the law says? The law says that whenever the bases are the same and they are multiplying, we should add the powers. So they are the same. They are multiplying. So you have to obey the rule. The rule says 2 exponent 3 plus. Now, here is exponent 1. But we don't write it. Here is exponent 1. We don't write it. It's an invisible one there. So take note. So plus 1 plus the 4. So we are going to have 2 exponents. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 4 will give us 8. So 2 exponent 8. So this is our second example. Are you getting it? Good. Let's try the third example. Example C says, now try example C for me. First for me. So I have 5 times 5 exponent 2. So this is the example C for the first law. For the first law. Try your hands for me. Good. Now, let's try the second law. What the second law says? The second law says that A exponent m divided by A exponent n is equal to. Now, the second law says that whenever the bases are the same and they are dividing, subtract the powers. That's what the second law says. Whenever the bases are the same and they are dividing, subtract the powers. So I'm going to have A exponent m minus n. Good. So let's try the first example. The first example, so we have 2 exponent 3 divided by 3, 2 exponents 2. So we have 2 exponents 3 minus 2. Because the law says that whenever the bases are the same and they are divided, I should subtract the powers. So I'm going to have 2 exponent 1. But we don't have the 1 because it's 2 itself. Any number starting on its own is exponent 1, but we don't write it. Okay? So this is your final answer. Let's go to example B. We have 5 exponent 4 divided by 5 exponent 4. Now, let's obey the rule. So, they are the same. The bases are the same. I have to subtract the powers. So I'm going to have 5 exponent 4 minus 4. Which will give me, yes, what's the answer? Good. Your guess is good as mine. The answer is what? 0. How have you had it? That's good. Keep it up. Now, 5 exponent 0. And any number exponent 0 is equal to what? 1. So our final answer will be what? 1. So this is your final answer. Good. Let's try the example C. Example C. Example C says 7 exponent 5 divided by 7 exponent 6. Good. Now, what the law says. Now, this rule is the same as this rule. Okay? So, it is either A exponent m over A exponent n is equal to A exponent m minus n. It's the same thing. So, take note. So, we are going to have 7 exponent 5. They are divided. So, I have to subtract the powers. Minus 6. So, 5 minus 6 will give me negative 1. So, negative 1. Okay? Good. Now, this one can also be written as or 1 over 7. So, take note. This and this are the same. Okay? That's good. So, this is your final answer for the third example under the second law. Have you getting all the steps? That's good. Now let's go to the third rule. What the third rule says. Now the third rule says that the base exponents a variable raised to the power n. Now we are going to have A exponent m n. Now you're going to use the power to multiply the power. Please, the power here will not affect the base. It will only affect the power. So take note. Or we have A exponent x, B exponent y, all into bracket n. So the power, the n here will multiply the x, the n here will multiply the y. So I'm going to have A exponent xn, B y n, because the n will multiply x to get xn. The n will multiply the y to get yn. So take note. So this is the third law. Let's try some examples. Example A says 3 exponent 2 all into bracket 4. Now, we are going to use the 4 to multiply the 2. Please, the 4 will not affect the base. It will only affect the power. So I'm going to have 3 exponent 2 times 4, which will give me 3 exponent 8. Good. Now let's try the example B. Example B says 2 exponent 2 times 3 exponent 3 all into bracket 2. So these 2 affects this 2, the power 2. This 2 here will affect the power 3. So I'm going to have 2 times 2 will give me 4. Times 2 times the 3 will give me 6. Okay? Good. So far as the bases are not the same, you can add them. Take note, you can add them. So leave your answer in this form or find the value. Okay? So 2 exponent 4 will give you what? 3 exponent 6 will give you what? Then the answer you get, you multiply them. So far as the bases are not the same, please don't add the powers. You can't add them, and you can't do that. Take note. Good. So this is your final answer. Let's go to the last example. The last example says 3 exponent 4 times 15 exponent 2. Now, since here is base 3, I have to make sure that 15 here, I have to break this one down, this 15 down. Okay? Good. So I'm going to have 3 exponent 4 times 3 times 5 exponent 2. Because 3 5 will give me 15. Then the exponent. So I'm going to have 3 exponent 4 times. Now, this power here will affect the 3. So I'm going to have 3 exponent 2. Now, the exponent here will also affect the 5, which will give me 5 exponent 2. Good. So, let's apply the rules. You see, these 3 and this, they are the same. The bases are the same. Let's go back to the first law. It says what? Whenever the bases are the same and they are multiplying, I should add the powers. So I'm going to have 3 exponent 4 plus 2 times 5 exponent 2. So take note. Now, I'm going to have 3 exponent 6. 4 plus 2 give me 6 times 5 exponent 2. So this is your final answer. And you are getting all the steps. That's good. So these are the rules or the laws of indices. First law, second law, and third law. Have you are getting it? That's good. So I want you to try this example for me. Try this example for me. Example D. It says 2 exponent 2 times 6 exponent 3. So use the third example here to solve this one for me. The same procedure. So try your hands on it, okay? And submit your work. I will check it for you. Please keep on flowing jazz and be exceptional. I wish you